All right, நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது இட்ஸ் டிஃபரண்ட் நியூஸ் வியூஸ் அண்ட் மியூசிக் ஷோ ஆன் KZSU ஸ்டான்ஃபர்ட். வாரந்தோறும் புதன்கிழமைகளில் 6 to 9 மணி வரை இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டு வருகிறது. இது எங்களது 10வது வருடம். அது பெருமையோடு சொல்லிக் கொள்கிறோம். ஏன்னா இது ஒரு கூட்டு முயற்சி, ஒரு மக்களுக்காக நண்பர்கள் சேர்ந்து நடத்தக்கூடிய ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி, ஒரு வாலண்டரி தன் ஆர்வல தொண்டர்கள்னு சொல்லணும். இந்த இத்தனை 10 வருடத்திலையும் மக்கள் அவங்களது ஆதரவை தெரிவிச்சுட்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. ஸோ தொடர்ந்து மக்களே சொல்லுங்கள், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தமிழ் நிகழ்ச்சி இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லுங்கள். itsdiff.com எங்களது வலைதளம். அதே மாதிரி ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் facebook.com itsdiff லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட்ஸ் போடுங்க. நிறைய பேர் நிகழ்ச்சியை கேட்டுட்டு அவங்கள கருத்துக்களை பரிமாறிக்கொள்ளுங்கள். அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஏன்னா மக்கள் நேரத்தை கொடுத்து, அலுவல் நேரம், ஃபேமிலி நேரத்தெல்லாம் கொடுத்து நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு இங்கே உறுதுணையாக இருந்து பண்ணுறச்சே ஒரு சின்ன நல்லா இருக்கு, இந்த மாதிரி நிகழ்ச்சிகள் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு உங்களை கருத்துக்களை பதிவு பண்ணிங்கன்னா அதுவும் ரொம்ப விசேஷமாக இருக்கும். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி உலகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய எந்த மூலையில் இருந்தாலும் இந்த வெப் ஸ்ட்ரீமிங் மூலமாக நீங்கள் கேட்கலாம். kzsulive.stanford.edu அதில் நீங்கள் போனீங்கன்னா யூ கேன் லிசன். அதே சமயத்தில் டியூன் இன் ஆப் இருக்குது ஸ்மார்ட் ஃபோனில், யூ கேன் லிசன் டு இட். டியூன் இன் அப்படின்னு போட்டிங்கன்னா யூ வில் லுக் ஃபார் KZSU. அதே மாதிரி ஐ ஹார்ட்ஸ் ரேடியோன்னு இருக்குது, அதுலேயும் KZSUன்னு போட்டிங்கன்னா யூ கேன் லிசன் டு இட். டேக் KZSU வித் யூ. சரியா? தட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஆர்கேஸ் whenever time permits we always put it on our website itsdiff.com. ஸோ இதுதான் எங்களது குழு, ஜஸ்ட் வாலண்டியர்ஸ். அது இன்றைய சிறப்பு நிகழ்ச்சி என்ன வருவதுன்னா, நம்ம 2014 இந்தியன் பார்லிமெண்டரி எலெக்ஷன், அதாவது லோக்சபா தேர்தல், 16வது லோக்சபா தேர்தல் 7ஆம் தேதி ஏப்ரல்லேருந்து 12ஆம் தேதி மே வரைக்கும் நடக்கிறது. எப்போதுமே எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் ரொம்ப சுவாரஸ்யமாக இருக்கும். அதனுடைய நிகழ்வுகள் சுவாரஸ்யமாக இருக்கும். அதில் என்ன சொல்றது, வேட்பாளர்கள்லேருந்து போல் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ்லேருந்து எல்லாமே ஒரு ரொம்ப ஹைட் அண்ட் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் நிறையவே இருக்கும். அந்த எலெக்ஷன்ஸ் பற்றி பேசுறது இன்னும் சுவாரஸ்யமாக இருக்கும். அதனுடைய இன்னும் சுவாரஸ்யம் என்னன்னா, பாலாஜியும் ராஜனும் நம்ம நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு அதை பற்றி பேசினாங்கன்னா இன்னும் சுவாரஸ்யமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ மக்களே வந்திருக்காங்க, அவங்களை முறைப்படி நம்ம நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வரவேற்றுட்டு உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்களை பரிமாறிக்கொள்ளணும். அதாவது எப்படின்னா, நம்ம நோக்கம் ஒரு டிஸ்க்ளைமர் சொல்லணும். நம்மளோட நோக்கம் ஒரு அனாலிசிஸ், ஒரு இதுதான். ஒரு எதுவுமே ஒரு பாரபட்சம் கிடையாது. ஜென்ரலாக என்னென்ன நிற்கிறாங்க, என்னென்ன இந்த மாதிரி உங்களோட மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ இது இப்படி இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யங்கள் ஒரு நடக்கிறது அப்படின்றத பற்றி பேசுவோம். நம்ம உங்களது கருத்துக்களையும் நீங்கள் யார் மனதும் புண்படாதபடி அது முக்கியமாக ஒரு டிஸ்க்ளைமர் சொல்லணும். ஸோ அது பண்ணிட்டு பேசலாம். 6507239010. முதல்ல நம்ம ஸ்டால்வாட்ஸை முறைப்படி நம்ம நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு வரவேற்போம். வணக்கம். வணக்கம். சரி சரி, சொல்லுங்க, வாங்க பேசுங்க.
Good morning, Srikanth. Thank you for having this show. And this is Rajan and Balaji here. As Srikanth mentioned, we are going to talk briefly about the Indian Parliament 16th Parliament election that is undergoing currently. Here we are not going to take any sides or support any party or leaders, but here we are going to present some statistics, the key players, the major issues, their manifestos, and some of the interesting things that's going on in this current election. Since this is an all-Indian election, let us keep this conversation mostly in English. But let the listeners, they can call and even talk in Tamil if they wish. But mostly let us have these talks in English. So let me start with some few statistics first. Yes, Balaji.
First, தேர்தல்னாலே ஊர்ல ஒரு பெரிய திருவிழா தானே. It's a big excitement.
It used to be a big festival once upon a time, but after TN session and after all these stringent rules of these election commissions set in, nowadays it has lost the charm of that festive mood in Indian election, I think.
But even if I see TVல பார்க்கும்போது you can see there are so many people waiting in the hot sun to have a glimpse of the leader.
That has so many other reasons too, but
waiting in the scorching sun for
scorching
what?
sun
for
and
what?
100 plus
for the leaders to show up.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for the leaders to come flying over them and
okay.
So the festive mood is still there in some other form, but not in that in the way that I used to have when I was I am observing the Indian elections since 70s, and this is one of the dullest election that I am, even though I am observing this election through internet, not directly there, but I could feel the mood there. So this is one of the world's largest, India is the world's largest democracy, and this is one of the world's biggest democratic exercise that is currently going on starting April 7th. There are around 500 Indian people, Indian electorate are choosing their candidates, their representatives for 543 constituencies. And this is going to be the 16th parliament since India got its independence. India has the huge electorate of around 815 million people casting their votes in the coming election at an expense of around 300 million. That is just the cost of running that election. And apart from that, the other parties and the other expenses, the money that would flow in this election would go anywhere between $5 billion to $7 billion. The parties are expected to spend around $5 billion, either directly or through indirectly means. The Indian elections are conducted by an autonomous body or an agency called Election Commission of India. It's not the government. It's a part of the government. It's a government appointed agency which takes care of the entire control of the law and order and other machineries. And they are actually conducting the elections. So as soon as
before TN session,
yes,
election commission
it was like a rubber stamp office, but he showed what power that commission exactly has since then. But even after him, there are so many other election commissioners came in and gone out. But so now Sambat is the chief election commissioner and he has other deputy commissioners. India is electing around 543 MPs, and apart from them, there are 2 appointed MPs representing the Anglo-Indian constituency. The term of the parliament or the term of each elected representative is 5 years from now on. So the next election will be 2019, and if the current parliament the next coming parliament is not dissolved or it's not a hung parliament. So normally it would go for 5 years. Almost last three terms, it survived the full five years, and before that it short-lived for 1.5 years or so. Okay, and Indian Parliament has 2 like Americans Senate and House of Representatives. They also have a Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The current election is for the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha members are directly elected by the people. The Rajya Sabha members are elected by another electoral college. They are elected by the members of the state assembly, not directly by the people. So all these 543 members are directly elected by the people. And the party who can form the government, who has the majority number, that is who can reach that magic 273 number, can choose their leader, and he will be the Prime Minister of India. So the Prime Minister is also not directly elected by the people of India. So the voting through all over the India, the voting is done by electronic voting machines, not through the ballot paper. But unfortunately, this electronic voting machine does not have any paper trail or audit trail to check back or to validate its function. The 2014 elections are conducted in 9 phases spread across 6 weeks between April 7th and May 12th. In 35 states of India and some of its union territories. India is a vast country spreading from Gujarat on the west to Assam and northeastern states on the east, Himalayas and Kashmir on the north to the Tamil Nadu and Kerala on the south. The constituencies are located in some of the most remote terrains of the world, from the Himalayan peaks to the remote islands of Andaman to the dense tropical woods of Kerala or the Western Ghats. So conducting election is not an easy task like in any other country. Here, you have to, in some remote places, you have to carry all those election materials through the ponies and horses to the remote areas. And India is also facing huge terrorist attacks and threats from all across its borders, from the north and from Maoists on the east.
Also, internally also.
Internally also, so in order to handle this ever-persisting terrorist threat, they need a huge security arrangement to conduct this election. That is the reason it takes 6 weeks to conduct elections for these 543 constituencies. So people may wonder why they cannot conduct an election in a single day or 2, but it's not that easy. They have to amass the paramilitary forces, border security forces, local police, ex-servicemen, and so many other security apparatus to conduct this election. They have to move their army from one state to other to have their election in a safer way. So the biggest states in India is Uttar Pradesh with 80 seats, and Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are the two most populated states that have 120 seats together. The votes will be counted and results will be announced on May 16th. Any party to form the government should win a magic number of 273 seats. There are around 16 to 20 crores or 20% of the total electorate are new voters. They are just 18 years or 18 to 20 years old young voters. So this population, this young population of India with aspiring dreams, they are going to decide the fate of this coming election.
So one more thing that is worth pointing out is since the 1980s, there hasn't been a single party that has gotten 272 plus.
Yes, since the days of after
1984.
Indira's death, Rajiv got a very huge majority of 400 plus seats. Since then, no particular party got this magic number, could reach this magic number. And with slender minority only, they are surviving. So they have to appease a lot of other parties for their survival. So that gives a lot of, all these years, that gave a lot of instability in the day-to-day administration of that country. Okay. So with this brief introduction on the Indian 16th parliamentary election, let us get into, let us see some of the major players of this game. Okay.
Thank you, Rajan.
Yes.
Very nice introduction. Dear listeners, this is It's Different Show on KCSU Stanford. We have Rajan and Balaji covering the 2014 Indian Parliamentary Elections, Allies Lok Sabha elections. So if you wanted to join our conversation, please do give us a call, 650-723-9010. Thank you. Balaji.
So in the election, major the Congress versus BJP.
Yes.
But the who in Congress versus who in BJP ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்தே ஒரு கொஞ்சம் கான்ட்ரோவர்ஷியலா தான் இருக்கு. When BJP announced Narendra Modi as its prime ministerial candidate, so then Congress came back and said it is reluctant to announce Rahul Gandhi as its PM candidate.
So currently Congress is having Dr. Manmohan Singh, a renowned economist and university professor, an ex-Reserve Bank governor, as its prime minister for the last 2 terms. So he was the prime minister of India for 10 years so far. And the Congress in the current parliament is having, it's called, their alliance is called United Progressive Alliance or UPA. They have an approximately around 230 members in their support. For the remaining 42 and 50 seats, they are having support from other regional parties on and off. Though they claim that they oppose the Congress, but they support indirectly to the Congress so that the current government could survive all these 5 years and it could complete its 5 years.
So it's worthwhile mentioning that Congress has only 206 seats in the current.
So with just a bare 205 or 206 seats, the current Congress government could survive all these 5 years or almost the last 2 terms. The current Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is not elected by the people of India. So he was a member of Rajya Sabha. So in some of his early elections, he tried contesting the parliament election. He could not win. He chose a backroute entry of getting selected from the Assam's representative. Assam is one of the Indian eastern states. And through that, he came into Rajya Sabha and he was the Prime Minister. So it's again another strange thing that a person who was not directly elected by the people could rule the country for all these years.
So what do you think about the general reluctance of naming Rahul Gandhi as a Prime Ministerial candidate?
Before we get into the 2 prime ministerial candidates, whether they announce Rahul as a prime minister candidate or not, he is the de facto PM candidate of UPA. There is no question about that. But they have not publicly announced and they hide behind the technicality of telling that India is not electing, it's not a presidential election. Okay. So let me go into that little later. And apart from that, under this United Progressive Alliance, it has its own partners like the Indian National Congress, the Grand Old Party of India, is the major party. That is, it's presided by an Italian a lady by name Sonia. Okay, and her other partners are National Congress Party, presided by Sharad Pawar, RJD, and some other northeastern parties. And some other religious parties are also supporting this Congress, and with their help, they are surviving so far. The major opposition party, or the coalition of the opposition, is called NDA, National Democratic Alliance. That is the main party in that is Bharatiya Janata Party, which is a Hindu nationalist party, and that is supported by regional parties like Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, and some other regional parties. Okay, so now in the current election also they are supported and backed by a lot of number of regional parties from the south and some other from the north.
So the main difference in terms of number of seats is that Congress used to have DMK support earlier, whereas now officially they are not partners in the election, though they may become partners post-election.
In the north, northeast, or the north, they still have the support of one of its partners, a loyal partner, Lalu Prasad Yadav. But in the south, they don't have the previous support they were enjoying in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, newly formed state Telangana, and as well as in the Tamil Nadu. So the erstwhile partners are now not with them. They are not contesting with them. They are contesting independently. So that could cost heavily the outcome of the Congress numbers. Okay, so if you look at the last few elections, from south only they were able to gain that number. So let's go to the number later. And there are a few other parties. They are also in the fray. So they are the BSP and Mulayam Singh. So what is Samajwadi Party, and TMC from the eastern state of West Bengal, Trinamool Congress, ADMK presided by Jayalalitha from the south Tamil Nadu, a Telangana Party, and few parties from Andhra Pradesh like YSR Party, and Biju Janata Dal from the state of Odisha, Assam Gandram Parishad from the state of Assam, and apart from that leftist parties like CPI and CPIM. These are the other major players. They call themselves as a loosely united third front or another force. Okay, and
so the main force that has come into play, that has been garnering a lot of attention in this election and is promising to be a game changer, is the new Aam Aadmi Party.
Aam Aadmi Party. So far, all these parties that I have already mentioned, they were in the Indian political system in one name or other almost since independence. Okay, but this currently with last few years, in the last 5 years, there was a movement against corruption started by Anna Hazare, and that movement was mainly organized and coordinated by a person named Arvind Kejriwal. He was a technocrat from IIT Kharagpur, and he was a civil servant also, an officer from the Indian Tax Department. And he joined Anna Hazare movement. He coordinated, and he was conducting that movement. And later he split from Anna Hazare and started his own party by name Aam Aadmi. There's a common man's
Eliya Makkal Katchi.
Okay, and that party has a huge momentum and a huge attraction and interest in the youth of India. So they were attracted by the concept of fighting against corruption, and they could see a rebel in him, and they could identify with him. So he said, I am a very simple man. I walk on the streets and go by cycle, and I live in ordinary homes and all. So that all this concept attracted him, and that projected his party with, even though with lesser number of seats, in collaboration with the party that he was opposing against corruption, that is the Congress, he was able to form the government in Delhi state. Delhi is the capital city of India, and he was the chief minister, and he survived only for 49 days, and he quit the responsibility and came out of that chief ministership. And he is also a major contender in this election. So he has fielded his candidates in most of the constituencies throughout India.
And he himself is contesting against Narendra Modi in Varanasi.
Yeah, let's come to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, dear listeners, we have a caller right now. So, are we taking calls now?
Yeah, please.
Okay, good. Yeah. So, dear listeners, please do give us a call for sharing your thoughts on the Indian Parliamentary elections. We have RV on the call, and just wanted a word of note. Okay, you're open to give your comments, but be watchful of what you say on here. So, I just wanted to give a cautious here because we should not. We can give opinion, but again, at the same time, again, it is to be unbiased. Thank you. Hello, RV? RV, you're on air. Good morning.
Good morning, RV.
RV, can you hear us? Yeah, RV, can you hear us? Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now you can hear you. You are on air. Good morning,
right.
sir. Chalunga.
So, Rajan and Balaji, what are your predictions for this election anyway?
Yeah, we are coming to that at the end of this program, RV.
You have to wait until the end. Okay, so what do you think? How is it going, RV? உங்களுக்கு எப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்கு உங்களை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும்?
எலெக்ஷன் பத்தி கேக்குறீங்களா என்ன பத்தி கேக்குறீங்க?
எலெக்ஷன் பத்தி சொல்லுங்க.
We are far away and I don't think we get first-hand information. The second information, I don't even know whether the usual buzz is there when you look at the news sites and whatnot. And, it feels like at this point it's like a one-man fight, really.
Who is that one man?
It seems to be only one man in the ring, and the rest are all kind of hitting their best. That's what it looks like to me at this point in time.
Let me hear it from RV's mouth. And who is that one man? Army RV.
Anything சொல்ல போறீங்களா? So I'll wait for that.
Okay. See, okay. Thank you.
I think he's talking about this major poll partner for Congress that has recently emerged, Nadigar Karthik.
Okay, thank you, Arvi. Okay,
thanks, Arvi.
Please give us a call, 650-723-9010. We are doing a review of 2014 Indian Parliamentary election, Lok Sabha elections, by Rajan and Balaji.
Now we have seen the major key parties that are contesting in these elections. It's not a two-party system. It's not a Democratic and Republic contest, and here it's a multi-party. In some states, there are 5 cornered contests and 6 cornered contests are going on. And these are the political parties that are involved. Now let us see some of the game changers or the lead players of each of these political parties.
Yeah, just I have a question. First, KZSU Stanford. So the question is, what is so confusing? You said multi-party system, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is so confusing from a common person is they think that they pick a leader, they get a chance to get to their manifesto, they vote for them, and then landed up that there is an alliance between some other party where ideology they never accepted in first place, but from a party level they just join. So this is really a confusing.
Yes.
So it's not very healthy, in my opinion.
Yeah. The main, I think, drawback, probably it's all more because of practical reasons, is that India doesn't have a runoff election. So the top 2 people who are chosen don't have a runoff. So in reality, an MP can be chosen if he has just 20% of the total electorate votes.
Yes.
So in contests, especially with the emergence of Aam Aadmi Party, with the lot of regional parties over the last 20 years, what we've seen is that votes get split. So there's no single party that gets more than 50% of the votes. So because of this, you are seeing the vote share basically determines who is going to be the winner. Who is partnering with who in this election basically determines who the winner is. Though, and it is not a matter of this person gets 50% of the votes, or the top 3 get chosen and then they go into a runoff and you need to get the majority to win.
So even with a meager 20%, one could win that election. And India is again a very complex country with a lot of diversity. Okay, and so all those players come into picture when it comes to election, and it makes it more complex. Yes.
We have a caller on air.
Yeah, please.
Vanakkam Bax. Good morning. You're on air. Thanks for joining our call and joining the discussion.
Good morning, Bax.
Bax, can you hear us? Hello, good morning. You're on air. You're on. Good morning. Welcome to our program.
Hi, this is Sundaresh.
Yeah, hey, Sundaresh, vanakkam.
Okay,
Vanga.
you changed your name to Sundaresh from Bags?
No, I lost that file.
Welcome, Sundaresh. Tell me.
Well, so one point that I wanted to point out is I think this is the first election after several decades where there is a groundswell of opposition against Congress Party. You know, probably after the emergency
1977.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, after that, this is the first time there is such a groundswell of opposition. And the thing is, then the only factor that is new here is as you were mentioning, the Aam Aadmi Party. But when I was traveling over India recently, about a few weeks back, I was in North India as well as in southern part, just talking to people. Except in Delhi area, in all the other parts, when you go to small towns and generally talking, there is not a big support from a common man for Aam Aadmi that I could see.
So even though they named it as
in Delhi area, I could see that there is still a lot of support. And they may still have a sizable presence there.
They may get some sizable votes, but I don't think they may win sizable seats there, even in Delhi.
Yeah, could be. But in other places, like...
Hello?
I think his call got cut off.
Yeah.
Sundaresh, can you please try again? I think there was a disconnect here.
Okay, is Bax on the line, other line?
No, Bax is not there. Yeah, dear listeners, 650-723-9010. You are listening to KZSU Stanford. It's different show. We are doing it 2014 parliamentary elections. Let's go get it.
Okay, let me go back to the key player or the leaders.
Yeah, Sundaresh, are you back?
Yeah.
Tell
please
me.
continue. Thanks. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, so these are the two things that I just wanted to mention. One, this is the first election after, the 70s emergency time, when there's a big groundswell of opposition against the Congress Party. And second one, the new factor that Aam Aadmi Party is also not having a dominant presence in, several parts of the country. And even in Delhi, their name is kind of sullied because of their poor performance or their non-performance. And also they abdicated their duty to rule within 49 days. So they're not getting a lot of, what I would say, admiration for that. So these two factors are going to play in favor of BJP and in favor of Modi, I think. So that is my observation.
Okay, thank you, Sundaresh.
I'll take the comments offline.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, you are correct regarding the Aam Aadmi parties. It's mostly a media creation I could see in most other parts of the India, but in Delhi they gained some traction, but they lost it because of the 49 days of Tamasha. And now most supporters of the erstwhile supporters of that party are considering that party mostly as an urban Maoist than as a crusader against corruption. So that party is not, although it's in the news and just because of the slappings that party leader is getting every day. And apart from that, I don't think that it is going to gain any momentum in the current election.
But overall, I like the fact that there is a new wave that is coming in.
Yeah, the concept is good, but not the way that...
And I think we should allow for Aam Aadmi Party to have some growing pains. You cannot write it off in one election or with one Delhi rule. The main thing I think we will see in this election is, rather than how many seats they get, is how much votes they split in various constituencies.
Some of the Aam Aadmi leaders, they openly discussed in public, even in public, telling that we may come to an alliance with Congress party later. In opposition of the BJP. So they made it somewhat clear that where they stand.
But on the other hand, Dr. Kumar Vishwas from Aam Aadmi Party has come out in support of RSS.
No, he just spoke in praise of RSS, but not in support of BJP. Yeah. Okay, now let me go back to the key players of both parties. Is there any listener?
Dear listeners, please do give us a call, 650-723-9010. People are trying, so we can take one call at a time while we are talking to someone, our listener. So please kindly be patient and then give us a call immediately after. We'll pick you up, okay? And thanks for participating in this election analysis. So here's my comment on, definitely this Aam Aadmi Party created a wave. I agree with what Balaji had said, because somebody cannot just like that get into the limelight and also win all seats, etc., etc. It takes a couple of stages, right? And I think from nowhere to now here, they made a little difference, but unfortunately it didn't sustain. That's okay. I mean, it all happens here because they need support and people have to know. But at least I see in the southern part also, a lot of people are at least wanted to become part of that group.
Yeah, it attracted a lot of volunteers,
correct.
young volunteers particularly. And
we have other groups like Lok Satta as well.
The Jayaprakash Narayan's Lok Satta. Now they formed an alliance with BJP this election. Okay, so going back to the key leaders, let me start from the current ruling Congress party. Yes.
You may want a little hold off. Raghu is on the line right now.
Yeah, please.
He has been trying for some time. Hello, Raghu. Good morning. You're on air.
Good morning. Super program, guy. Nice run up to the election. இந்தியாவில் அப்படியே காலங்காலத்தால காஃபி குடிச்சிட்டு நியூஸ் பேப்பர் படிக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீலிங் இருக்கு. நீங்க இது தமிழ்நாடு இது கவர் பண்ணுவீங்களா? தமிழ்நாடு இம்பாக்ட் ஆன் பார்லிமெண்டரி எலெக்ஷன்.
Yes, Raghu. We will at the end of our program we will cover Tamil Nadu in detail, since it's a sort of Tamil program. We will cover the Tamil Nadu situation in little more detail. Yeah.
Okay.
With more specifics.
I'll wait for that. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raghu. Yeah.
Go ahead, Rajan.
Though the Congress has not named any official PM prime ministerial candidate, they named Rahul Gandhi as their indirectly they named him as their prime minister candidate. He is around 43-year-old. He is a great grandson of Jawaharlal Nehru, grandson of Indira and son of Rajiv, and he does not have any ministerial or administrative experience so far. His parliamentary track record, as measured by his attendance or his parliamentary speeches, is also on a lower scale. He is not attracting a big crowd in his election rallies, and some of his interviews he has given to the national media are also not that stellar. So with all these things, although he is not bringing any value addition to that party, just because he is the dynastic, it's a party with a dynastic leadership, so they fielded him, and under his leadership they are facing that election. Yes.
Okay, we have a caller. Bags
please.
is online. Bags, you're on air. Good morning. Welcome to our program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Bags.
Nice program, Balaji and
Rajan.
Rajan, right? Rajan.
மறந்துட்டீங்க. Okay.
I wanted to tell you your full name, but I forgot that.
No problem.
That's fine.
Anyway, so Rajan, this is your question for you. Why shouldn't I vote for the new joker on the stage?
You mean new joker?
Yeah, the Congress was a joker, and then.
Okay. You call everybody joker. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you can, and I'm sure a lot of people will as well. So
yes. Yeah, nobody prevents you from supporting Aam Aadmi.
Aam Aadmi Party will get a lot of votes, and you'll see it in the vote share split. But the thing I think to keep in mind.
From the corruption perspective, I'm talking about things that happened in the past, right? So we saw different people, we gave the power to different people, and everybody proved that
you are right, Bax, but against these Aam Aadmi leaders also there are a lot of allegations coming up daily in newspapers. So they are also not that lily white as expected, as they are supposed to be. let us give some more time and wait and see.
Yeah, and I think the main thing about corruption is that when you come to the issues in this election, corruption has kind of been put on the back burner.
Yeah, let us discuss about that. We have to.
We have one more caller.
Yeah, please.
Hello, Arvi, you're on air. Good morning.
Hello, Steve. Thank you for
sure.
being here again.
Yeah, come back, Arvi.
Two observations, actually. One is that Balaji mentioned that there is no runoff. It's quite true that there is no runoff, but it also works out in the favor in some cases. I mean, if you take Narendra Modi, he's such a polarizing candidate that there would be a lot of votes against him if he completely gets 7 votes. Somebody like Rahul Gandhi or Mamata Banerjee or anybody else would not get so many nay votes, would not get votes against him. There are people who want to become the next PM. There are people who are strongly in support of Modi, but you don't get the same level of intensity of support or non-support against other leaders. So it's another factor that, if you are counting that 60% definitely want Modi as, I'm just using arbitrary numbers here, 60% definitely want Modi as Prime Minister, 40% definitely don't want Modi as a Prime Minister, he's unfit to be Prime Minister. We don't take that into account in democracy. We have a system with all its strengths and weaknesses. It works out in favor of some people at some point in time. That's the way. I don't believe you can get a perfect choice system given the existing constraints anyway.
Yeah, even a 60% is a decent percentage when compared to the previous track records of Indian democracy.
Yeah. So it's all you're saying is you have to project a strong leader to get the people to vote, right?
No, the point I'm making is that there are a lot of people who are absolutely against Modi. But you don't get people who are absolutely against Rahul Gandhi at the same level. You don't get people who are absolutely against Jayalalitha at the same level. You don't get people who are absolutely against Mulayam Singh Yadav at the same level. The level of people who are saying no very strongly against Modi is very significant and very high. Maybe the number who are saying...
So you want to have a weighted average?
So I missed, what is the correlation between that and the runoff in a particular constituency?
The runoff is one of the weaknesses of the system. I'm finding out that there are other weaknesses in the system which doesn't count the influence of polarizing leaders. The system, I believe with all its strengths and weaknesses, is the best we could do. I don't believe easy to better the current system. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your comments, Arvi. Yeah.
Thank you, Arvi. But democracy in India works like this. And
yeah, we have one more caller.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hello, good morning. Welcome to the program. You're on air.
Yeah, this is Niana. I want to join.
Yeah, sure. Morning, yeah. Please go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I want to ask this question. So there are a lot of poverty in India. There are 3 things that actually motivate people. Actually, the biryani cash, that BBC people say, is that going to actually attribute more, to this election, based on the poverty of people, and most of the middle income class people don't show up to the poll. And in the social media era, is it going to be changing now? That's my question.
Thank you, Nyanam.
As far as freebies go, and election SOPs go, I think you see it more in assembly elections rather than in parliament elections.
No, even in parliament election in southern states, it has more willingness towards getting the freebies, looking for freebies. And even in the northern states, if you look into the manifestos of the major parties like Aam Aadmi and Congress, it's filled with subsidies and goodies. It's like a Santa Claus goodie bag, full of subsidies. It's again freebies to entice the voters. Let us go to the... are you done, Jnana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the answer. So the freebies and subsidies are going to stay still there, whoever comes to power, and they cannot remove some of the subsidies already there. And unless they remove that subsidies, they cannot raise their GDP, or they are going to struggle. We are going to see how the government is stubbornly going to control the subsidies. That is one of the major issues India is facing that we will be discussing shortly. And the next key player or the game changer from the major opposition party or the alliance, the NDA, is Narendra Damodara Modi. Narendra Damodara Modi is currently having around 60% of mass support across India. from all the states of all over, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Except in Kerala, he is getting a unanimous support of more than 50%. He is currently the Chief Minister of a western state of India, Gujarat, and he is in the 4th term. This is yet another achievement of him, that he has already completed 3 terms and he is running into the 4th term as a Chief Minister of that state. And he is from a poor, backward Vaishya community, and he started his career as a tea vendor in bus depots, supporting his father's business. And he entered into politics through another Hindu social movement called RSS as a base volunteer. He has widely traveled across India by foot, by ordinary transport. He knows the in and out of India, all corners of India. And he has participated as a foot soldier in many of the rehabilitation tasks that plagued Gujarat, like flood and earthquakes and all. Now he is considered to be the successful and the most wanted Chief Ministers of India, and he is rated as the number 1 Chief Minister by many of the international agencies, media, Indian and international media too. But at the same level, he is highly controversial, and he is alleged to be responsible for a riot that happened as soon as he took charge as Chief Minister in his first term.
2002.
In 2002, that cost around 2,000 people's death. Okay, but till date, no court. He was checked and verified, and he was contested in all courts of India, and up to the highest court of India. No court. The highest court of India recently has given a clean sheet for him, and nobody could tell or accuse or tell him that he is part of that. He intentionally or wantedly done that riot, and it's after 2002 till date. He has not allowed any riots to happen in his state. That is his achievement. And
let's go to the caller. He has been waiting. So, Narayan, are you still there? Thanks for your patience. Vanakkam. Yeah. Can you be a bit louder? We can't hear you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Narayan.
Yeah.
No, I think
hold on. Can you try again, Narayan? Because we can't hear you. The connection is bad. Yeah. Okay. So let's give him another chance. So, dear listeners, we are having an election analysis review of 2014 Indian Parliamentary Elections, Lok Sabha elections. So we are just let's pick the caller.
So,
sorry, let's try one more time. Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Well, hello.
Hi, this is Prasad.
Yeah, Prasad. Please, you're on air. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I have a different spin to this whole thing. If I'm an intelligent politician, we have heard stories about the EVMs which can be tampered, and I would use that as an outlet to really garner more votes rather than through paying people or bribing or even giving some concessions to the people. I think that's one way of even handling it. And added to that, in fact, if you remember last time when Chidambaram, there was a situation where it was first announced that he lost the elections, and then they came back and said he won the elections.
Right.
Exactly.
His concern is about the technology that is being used
yes,
for...
Yes, Prashant, your concern is genuine, and Dr. Subramaniam Swamy has also had this suspicion, and he took this as a case in the Supreme Court of India, and the court ruled that the electronic voting machine should be accompanied by a audit trail, that every vote polled should give us a receipt, and if there is any contest, that receipt should be counted. But the Election Commission said they didn't have enough time to incorporate that. Only in selected constituencies as an experimental basis they have added that. But still, this particular doubt is hovering in the minds of so many people, and that doubt is still there. Then that possibility is not ruled out yet. Yes, you are right.
We have one more caller, Ratnavel Swamy. So, Ratnavel Swamy, vanakkam, you're on air. Good morning.
Good morning, Ratna. Please.
Good morning. First of all, this is a very nice program and timely program. Appreciate
thanks,
the topic.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I have only one question or a comment. Say, for example, in India, normally when the people don't like the ruling party and they hate them, they go after the opposition, whoever it is.
That is anti-incumbency. Yeah.
How much of that is favoring Modi this time?
It is favoring a lot. It's favoring, apart from the new voters, that is the youth's support towards the development model of Modi. The anti-incumbency is also playing a huge role, particularly the people's ire against the mega scams that was plaguing the UPA government. And if you look into the scams, that the scams runs into hundreds of billions of US dollars. And so people are very angry against the current UPA government and they want a change.
Yeah.
Almost around 30 to 40% of vote share comes from that angry or the ire towards the UPA government.
So Rajan, I think the main source for anti-incumbency factor here is not really corruption.
Corruption alone, the price rise.
The main thing is the economy and the sluggish economy.
Exactly.
The growing rate of inflation.
Yeah, if you look into the statistics, corruption is in the third slot only. The price rise, inflation, unemployment, and other issues are the agricultural problems.
What do you call as, the dissatisfaction of people against the current ruling party, it also applies to other people, not just Modi alone, right? To other candidates also, other elections, right?
So it is against the ruling government, right?
The difference is that people are starting to, earlier in the earlier elections, right, even if there is an anti-incumbency factor, there was no single person for them to rally with.
Yes.
Whereas I think for the first time in about 2 decades, we are seeing a national factor that people can identify with. CNN IBN has a social tracker where it tracks various trends in social media, in other things about different parties and the leaders and so on. One thing that you can see is that after Rahul Gandhi's interview with Arnab Goswami, Rahul Gandhi, either his campaign manager or whoever is managing his campaign, they've kind of put him in the back burner. They've not got him to the limelight.
They are not interested in projecting him in the limelight, fearing that it could attract more negative words. Right. And the main attraction of Modi is he is attracting huge crowds, running into several hundreds of thousands of people, into millions of people attending all of his rallies.
I think social media is making a lot of difference here. Let's go to the caller once again, because Narayan has been waiting. So Narayan, good morning. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good morning. I will hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Narayan. Tell me.
Yes, good morning. Actually, this question for Rajan. First of all, thank you for doing this program. It's really important at this time.
Thank you.
I just recently visited, I come back from India. So what I am noticing is that even though it's a parliament election, the local parties and the tie-ups and the people who they know, and if they are participating in the election and regardless of the party, I feel like that adds more weight. And how do you think this is going to impact the victory of this election?
You are correct, Narayan.
So that has been the case for the last 2 decades.
Yes.
The fragmentation of votes, people voting for the rise of the regional parties. So we saw Janata Dal come up earlier, and then after that we had the Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party, and
ADMK.
Yeah, the ADMK and DMK, getting a major chunk of the votes. That has been the factor throughout. So for the last
and another thing here in this Indian electoral system is the representatives, the MPs, they don't recognize their exact role. Most of the time, the people are looking for their local problems, like there is no proper roads or lights in the streets or drainage problem. For all these problems, they accuse the MPs, and MPs are made responsible. And MPs are also they also don't realize exactly what their exact functions are. So it is more localized.
No, Rajan, the reason, sorry to interject there, the reason is this. That is, election time is the only time where they get to, these guys come to meet the people. So that is one of the complaints against these leaders, right?
Both the people and as well as the representatives, they don't understand the concept of parliamentary election.
True.
So here the responsibility of the MP are mostly to enact laws.
Correct.
And to bring projects, major projects that needs federal funds
national level
to their local constituencies.
Correct.
So these are the major responsibilities of these MPs. But yeah.
So I wanted to highlight a few things. So for example, Mukha Aragiri and Napoleon, they're both union ministers.
Okay. Ritish is not
attended Lok Sabha only on 4% of the days. And they both didn't participate in a single debate or ask any single question. Dayanidhi Maran didn't ask a single question in the last 10 years. Jagat Rakshagan was in the house only for 23% of the days. So you can.
You can. Even if you take the prime ministerial candidate Rahul Gandhi, what is his attendance record? It's very poor. Right?
No, so what are we saying? So there is no rule.
No, the role of
which mandates.
So Rajan and I were talking about this yesterday. So the role of MPs, right? The official role is they are the legislature. They have to enact laws. They have to enact bills. The number of private member bills that have been proposed, right, is very, very low, especially if you look at Tamil Nadu MPs, for example. Yeah. The main role of an MP seems to be, how he spends the MP quota, right? So
each MP is provided with some 4 crores or something.
4 crores or something. So he may build a bus shelter or some bridge or something like that, and then that seems to be the main role for an MP.
Meaning in his constituency, basically, right?
He can spend that money elsewhere also, and it is very astonishing that even the media is rating an MP based on how he spent that 4 crores, instead of rating him on the number of bills that he has proposed, the number of mega projects that he brought to his constituencies and all. Instead of speaking that, an MP is rated based on his attendance and all these things. When compared to the role of senators, it's here they come out with laws, right? They come out with bills and
yeah, very true. So actually, there's one thing, right? Every time this is a common complaint, people look at the state, whatever the assembly elections and the MLAs, right, and say, unless you guys are have some influence over the central government or ministry, you cannot get things done for the local constituency. Okay, when
there is a difference in that. There is an MP he is our friend from our Bay Area. He was working in Silicon Valley in Sign Microsystems and Dell Computers. In 2008, he moved back to Bangalore, and he wanted to take part in Indian politics, and he contested as a BJP candidate from the Chitradurga constituency of Karnataka. He won that election. He became an MP, but he was part of an opposition party. He did not have any clout. He is a new first-time MP. He is a technocrat. Being a smart project manager from Bay Area, he first analyzed what are the ills or the issues of his constituencies, the major issues that are related to the federal funding. See, he identified that it is one of the most driest constituencies of India and a drought hit. There are no rain for the last 40 years and there is no train route going through his constituencies. He identified all those major causes. He found a way to attack that. He found some ways of getting funds from his local party, from the state government party, and he was able to achieve something in spite of he being from the opposition party. So it all depends on the smartness and the visionary of the candidates. Even though he is from opposition party, he was able to achieve something in real terms.
So I think we have one more caller on air.
We have a caller, Los Angeles Ram on air. So vanakkam Ram, you're listening to It's Different show. Neenga air la irkeenga. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for putting me on the show. Vanakkam Sri, vanakkam Thirumalai, எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கேன் ராம், சொல்லுங்க.
வெரி குட். கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடியே ப்ரோகிராமுக்கு வரணும்னு நினைச்சேன், வேற சில கமிட்மெண்ட்ல கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆயிட்டது. ப்ரோகிராம் நல்லா போயிட்டு இருக்கா?
சொல்லுங்க.
எப்படி இந்த எலெக்ஷன் process பத்தி சொல்றீங்களா? நம்ம what is the current status about the parliamentary elections?
Yeah, we already introduced how our election system works, how our democracy works. We introduced the parliament, we introduced the key players, and now we are speaking about the key opposition party leader Narendra Modi, and that is where we are attending the.
No, in general, we are covering where is the trend. I mean, not just only on Modi.
Yeah. We are coming to that level.
Yeah. We have like about another 20 minutes to conclude. So, what's on your mind, sir? Chalunga.
What's on my mind is I have been writing about this in various forums, including my blog as well as Facebook and Twitter all the time. நேத்திக்கு ட்விட்டர்ல நிறைய மெசேஜ் போட்டிருந்தேன். அதுல முக்கியமா நிறைய ஆர்டி அண்ட் ஃபேவரட் வாங்கின ஒரு மெசேஜ் என்னன்னாக்க, ஐ எம் எம்பசைசிங் தட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து நம்ம மதவாதம்னு சொல்லி இது என்டையர் திங் ரொம்ப திசை திருப்பப்படுது. நம்ம எலெக்ஷன் ப்ராசஸ்ல காங்கிரஸுக்கு வந்து இந்த தடவை ரொம்ப பயங்கரமான அடிவிழ போகுதுங்கிற ஒரு தீர்க்கமான நிலைமையில அவங்க எப்படியாச்சும் திசை திருப்பி ஆகணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஊழலை மறைக்கிறதுக்கோசரம் மதவாதம்ங்கிற ஒரு அஸ்திரத்தை கையில் எடுத்து அதையே பெருசுப்படுத்துறாங்க. அன்பார்ச்சுனேட்லி சிறுபான்மையரை they continue to take advantage of them.
Okay.
அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட் நான் சொல்லியிருந்தேன். நிறைய ஆர்டி வந்தது அதுக்கு.
So can we call it a pseudo secularism?
அப்புறமா நமக்குள்ள அடிச்சுக்கிறோம் பிடிச்சிக்கிறோம் எப்படி சமாளிச்சுக்கிறோம் என்னன்னு நம்மளோட பிரதர்ஸ் விட்டு கொடுத்துட போறது இல்ல. பட் முதல்ல ஊழலுங்கிறது பயங்கரமான ஒரு கேன்சர், அதை முதல்ல ஒழிக்கணும்னு சொல்லி பண்ணியிருந்தேன்.
Okay.
அதுக்கு நிறைய ஃபேவரட்ஸ் வந்தது, ஆர்டி வந்தது.
So for that you suggest defeating the current ruling party, right?
100%, 110%. அதாவது இன்னொரு 10-15 வருஷத்துக்காவது மோடி மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங் லீடர் நம்ம இந்தியாவுக்கு ரொம்ப தேவை. ஏன்னா நிறைய விஷயங்கள் உளுத்து போச்சு. நம்மளோட என்டையர் கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்ட்ரக்சரே நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இன்க்ளூடிங் டிஃபென்ஸ் which we unfortunately had to witness in the last few months.
Yes.
சப்மரீன் ஆக்சிடென்ட், மிலிட்டரி ஆக்சிடென்ட், நேவியல் ஆக்சிடென்ட், டெய்லி ஒரு ஹெலிகாப்டர் ஆக்சிடென்ட். இந்த வருஷமே ஒரு 12 மாசத்துல 14 மேஜர் ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ் நடந்திருக்கு நேவியில மட்டுமே.
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி.
அதாவது ப்ரொக்யூர்மெண்ட் எல்லாமே உளுத்து போய் கிடக்கு. பேட்டரி வாங்குறதுக்கு காசு இல்ல, பெட்ரோல் போடுறதுக்கு காசு இல்லைன்னா இதெல்லாம் என்ன கேவலம். அது இன்ஃபேக்ட் வந்து இந்தியா வந்து இஸ் ப்ராபபிளி இந்த டாப் 3 in arms procurement internationally. அவ்வளவு பணம் செலவழிக்கிறோம் நம்ம.
Yeah, that needs to be changed. Your points taken, Ram.
அது ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட், டிஃபென்ஸ் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ல அது ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட். ஏன்னா the continued threat from terrorists, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China is haunting us all the time. ரெண்டாவது அந்த நேஷனல் லெவல் இந்த மிடில் கிளாஸோட ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் எல்லாமே வேஸ்டா போயிட்டு இருக்கு. எல்லா பணமுமே ஃபாரின் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சில் ஏர்ன் பண்ற பணம் அத்தனையுமே நம்ம வந்து கவர்மெண்டோட முட்டாள்தனமான பாலிசிஸ், ஃப்ராட் பாலிசிஸ், ஏகப்பட்ட ஸ்கேம்ஸ் ஒன்னா ரெண்டா.
Yeah, I think you spoke the mind of most of the Indian voters currently, and
thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your input.
Ram சொன்னதுல
having me and you guys continue to have the program. I'll enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have one more caller.
ராம் சொன்னதுல இன்னொரு மெயின் பாயிண்ட் ஒன்று இருக்கு. என்னன்னா, the reason why the debate has shifted from the policies of the Congress government, the failure of the government, or what the successes, to this whether BJP is secular or whether it's pro-Hindu or Hindu nationalist and all that, right? And I think that is because the debate has shifted from anti-Congress to now it has become very clear that BJP is the front runner in the polls. Almost all the all the opinion polls show BJP to be the front runner. So that is why the debate has shifted to whether the even அந்த மற்ற பார்ட்டிஸ்லாம் கூட எடுத்தா கூட இந்த கரப்ஷன்லாம் ஒரு இஷ்யூவாகவே அவங்க
the corruption and the major scams are sidelined or diverted by projecting the secularism issue. Okay, whenever somebody talks against a 2G scam or some other scam, then they come back and say, oh, we want a secular government. So in this how the opposition party is forced to take sides and deviate from talking about scams. Yes,
so you're listening to KCSU Stanford 90.1 FM. It's different show weekly on Wednesdays from 6 to 9 a.m. Our Facebook page is itsdiff, so like our page, post your comments. Every week we have this radio from 6 to 9. Thanks for tuning in today. We have a caller on here. Let's receive them. Ashok, please, what's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, so good morning. Like most of us out here who are in the US, we only read what is going on, through social or newspapers and, watch the news. Unfortunately, and we can't cast our vote from here.
No, you can. Suppose if you are not already not a citizen of America, if you are still a citizen of India, you can still vote from here. There is a possibility. You check the. Yeah.
I understand, but that's still, that disconnection is there.
Yes.
But I think the point is that in the last, I'd say last 10, 15 years, and this is not only my personal opinion, is that I think there's a lot of public apathy. Apathy meaning there's just a clear indifference of people to have any
participation.
I guess, a common cause.
Yes.
I think the only three things that bind Indians together is, unfortunately, is Bollywood, cricket, and food.
You are correct.
And that's not going to, if you open Times of India or anything, samachar.com or SIFI, that's all we talk about.
Yeah, but in this election, there is a slight change from the general apathetical mood.
Right,
normally, the voting pattern would be around 55%, but I am sure that this election is going to get more than 60% participation. People are coming out of the apathy a little. Yeah.
Yeah, out of 815 million eligible voters.
Yes.
So you're saying about 500 million will actually cast their vote.
Yes.
I hope that truly is the case.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that 500 million, out of the 1.2 billion people, I think the upper 1%, they don't, it really doesn't matter if the upper or the lower strata of the, of the social class, not social or whatever, the strata that doesn't vote.
Yeah.
And the 300 million, 400 million middle class people don't come out to vote. I mean, then it's a lost case.
But with the advent of a new leader like Narendra Modi and new parties like Aam Aadmi Party, the new upper middle class, like the IT sector people, they are coming out a lot.
But yeah, like you and I, for example, if you were in India, would you? It's very hard to say, but it's also very disheartening that people just don't consider their vote to
as a valuable one.
Make a change.
Yes. Yeah. But the things are slowly changing, but it's not enough. You are right.
Yeah, but that's the only thing. And the other good thing is that two of my friends, two of my acquaintances who are highly educated, one including is a Harvard MBA and who has worked with several multinational companies, is running for an election for an MP.
Which constituency?
He's with the BJP.
Okay, which constituency? From which place?
Oh, he's from Jharkhand and Hazir.
Oh, okay. What is his name?
The call got cut.
Yeah. Sorry, can you try again, please? And accidentally the line got cut. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about Narendra Modi. He is contesting from two constituencies. One is home state, Vadodara from Gujarat, and another from Kashi, the holy city of India. So he is contesting from both places. And Kejriwal, the leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, is contesting against Narendra Modi in the Varanasi constituency. That's the Kashi constituency.
Yeah. So let's quickly go to the...
We have about 15 minutes. We will take one more caller here right now.
So. Yeah, sure.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Ashok again.
Can you...
you are telling about your friend in Chandigarh.
Can you quickly wrap up your comments because we have two more callers. Thanks.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. But you know what? It's good to know that there are educated people, and but it's also very sad to know that there are over, I don't know how many hundreds, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of people with serious criminal backgrounds.
Yeah, they are also into that. That is how the democracy in India works.
Shameful. Yeah, that is completely
and our wishes to both of your friends. I wish all success for them.
I hope the best man
wins. Please convey our wishes to them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Good. People have thanks for all the callers who are just chiming in and giving their comments. This show is on Facebook as well. itsdiff is our Facebook page. Please like our page, post your comments. Our website is itsdiff.com. Let's go to the next caller. Good morning. Welcome. You are on air.
Good morning. This is Kargil Jay. Previously.
Welcome.
Hello, are you listening to me?
Yeah, we are listening. Welcome, Kargil.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for taking my call. Previously, Thirumalai was telling about an MP from Karnataka, from Chitradurga constituency.
Yes.
And, when I understood that he was in opposition party. Despite that, he spent the state fund of 1,000 crores to get the railway line, which is apparently railway is belonging to the central government. To get the central government to help his own people, he did it. And he is from a reserved constituency, which shows what a kind of highest importance BJP gives.
Not only that, being a technocrat and being a Silicon Valley entrepreneur, he showed all his technical skills, project management skills, also into being an MP, people's representative there. And he is a friend from our Bay Area, and his name is Janardhan Swami. He is contesting from Karnataka now.
I'm sure we can find those kind of people in...
I think it's very interesting to know.
He was in the opposition party. Despite that, he achieved getting things done for the people by spending...
Very good to have leaders like that.
However,
Jay.
there is a person in the ruling party of Delhi, he did nothing except resigning after 49 days. What a big contrast is this. BJP should send this message to everyone.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Your point taken. Thank you.
Now the question is, people are this shows to it's a comment from people as they see all this. They see how people behave from a leadership, and also they wanted to do good to the constituency, and people recognize that. That's what is the point taken. Okay,
and
so
there are some other
Rajan. We have to wrap up, and we need to quickly cover the southern part of India.
We are going to.
Balaji, you were saying.
Let's quickly go through the main lightning rod issues.
Okay.
So in terms of Gujarat and Gujarat riots, right? So I don't think you can convince people one way or the other. Those who made up their mind that Modi is complacent as it, they will remain that.
Yes.
Those who say that doesn't matter and we should move on, they will. So I think that issue has been...
It's going to be
a polarized issue, and I don't think there will be any resolution. You cannot justifiably prove one way or the other in any way or form. The next thing is corruption. I think BJP tried its best to bring that to the forefront, but I think it is bogged down by its own people.
There are around 20 major scams running into several $1 billion, starting from 2G scams, Commonwealth Games, Colgate, helicopter purchase scandal, submarine scandal, Adarsh housing scam, Telgi stamp paper scam, Hassan Ali scam, Vadora deal.
Rajan,
it goes so on.
We understand. Let's do this. I think we
the
have
next lightning rod issue. I think is the spending. So we can see the major difference between Congress manifesto and BJP manifesto in there, whereas BJP promises to spend a lot on infrastructure. We don't know where it's going to get the money for it. Congress, its manifesto is basically a rehash of what it was doing earlier. The other thing is illegal immigration and the internal security threats that we've been facing. So that is
they have huge problems at the foreign policies also on the hand.
Right. In coming to Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
கொஞ்சம் தமிழ்ல பேசுவோம்.
Okay.
தமிழ்நாடு எலெக்ஷன் கவரேஜ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எனக்கு இந்த தடவை ஆச்சரியமா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா இவங்க ஒரு கட்சியும் போட்டிருக்கிற செட்டும் அவங்க எதுவும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப அப்படி செங்கோட்டை மாதிரி செட்டு போட்டு ஃப்ளெக்ஸ் பேனர்லாம் போட்டு அது அந்த பாட்டுகள் எல்லாமும் வந்து முன்னெல்லாம் ஒரு எலெக்ஷன் பாட்டு அப்படின்னாலே ஒரு மாதிரி ஒரு தேர்ட் ரேட்டட் மியூசிஷியன்ஸ் வச்சு போட்டு ஒரு ஒன்றும் டியூனும் இதுவாக இருக்காது. ஆனால் இந்த தடவை அதெல்லாமே வந்து ரொம்ப மாடர்னாக போட்டு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அண்டு கொளுத்துற வெயில்ல மக்கள்.
ரெண்டாவது வந்து இப்போ கேம்பெயின் வந்து சீஃப் மினிஸ்டர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க வந்து ஹெலிகாப்டர்ல தான் வராங்க. ஸோ காலையில் வீட்டில் இருந்து கிளம்பி மதியானத்துக்குள்ளே 2-3 இடத்துல பேசிட்டு திருப்பியும் மெட்ராஸ்க்கே போயிடுறாங்க. முந்தி மாதிரி வந்து ரோடாக வந்து அலைஞ்சு ஸோ அந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணுறது.
சரி, எலெக்ஷன் மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ எப்படி இருக்கு? உண்மையிலேயே பியாண்ட் பாலிடிக்ஸ் இருக்கு, அதை விட்டுட்டு உண்மையிலேயே மக்களுக்கு இது செய்கிறோம் இந்த நாங்கள் பிகாஸ் ஜெயலலிதா என்ன சொல்லணும், சீஃப் மினிஸ்டர் ஜெயலலிதா மரியாதையை சொல்லணும். ஷீ சேயிங் ஷீ இஸ் கோயிங் டு கண்டெஸ்ட் ஃபார் த பிரைம் மினிஸ்டரியல் போஸ்ட். Let me finish. So she says that she is a prime ministerial candidate, like we are presenting Modi and other candidate Rahul சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா?
No.
So the question is, she also got support from Mamata Banerjee and those team. The question is at least a candidate. No other candidate has been presented like that.
இவங்க கிட்ட எலெக்ஷன் மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ நீங்க என்ன கேட்பீங்க? இவங்க கிட்ட வந்து காஷ்மீர் பத்தி உங்க கொள்கை என்ன, இல்ல இந்தியாவோட ஃபைனான்சியல் எதை பத்தி உங்க கொள்கை என்ன, இல்ல நீங்க வந்து இவ்வளவு % இன்ஃப்ளேஷன் இருக்கு, இதை நீங்க எப்படி சரி பண்ணுவாங்க? இதெல்லாம் வந்து ரீஜனல் பார்ட்டிஸ்க்கு இதெல்லாம் ஒரு இஷ்யூவே கிடையாது.
That's the point. That's the point. So how can you
அவங்க வந்து பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் ஆகணும் அப்படிங்கறதெல்லாம் வந்து இந்த ஓட்டு கணக்கு எவ்வளவு சீட்டு கணக்குல வந்து எங்கயாவது உள்ள நுழைய முடியுமா அப்படிங்கிறது.
அதாவது மம்தா பானர்ஜிக்கும் சரி, ஜெயலலிதாவுக்கும் சரி, நிதிஷ்குமாருக்கும் சரி, முலாயம் சிங் யாதவுக்கும் சரி, மாயாவதிக்கும் சரி, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் ஆகிடலாம் எப்படியாவது ஒரு ஃபேட்ல வந்து ஒரு ட்ரீம் இருக்கு. ஓகே, அது எப்படி நடந்ததுன்னா, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து குஜரால், தேவகவுடா, சந்திரசேகர், விபி சிங் போனவங்க எல்லாம் ரொம்ப மைனாரிட்டி ஓட்ஸை வச்சுட்டு, சீட்ஸை வச்சுட்டு தேவர் ஏபிள் டு பிகம் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர். அந்த மாதிரி இந்த ஒரு ஹங் பார்லிமெண்ட் வர்ற டயத்துல நம்மள்ட்ட ஒரு 30 எம்பிஸ் கையில இருந்தாங்கன்னா, அதில் எல்லாமே வந்து ஒரு தலை கணக்கு தான். அதை வச்சுட்டு நம்ம வந்து பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் ஆயிரலாங்கிற கணக்குல தான் இவங்க அத்தனை பேரும் வந்து போட்டி போடுறாங்க. ஆனா வந்து இவங்கள்ட்ட இருக்க வெறும் நம்பரை வச்சுட்டு தே கேனாட் ஃபார்ம் அ கவர்மெண்ட். அது அவங்களுக்கு தெரியும்.
They can garner seats, but not.
இந்த worst case அவங்களுடைய சப்போர்ட் இன்னொரு பார்ட்டிக்கு, பிஜேபிக்கு, காங்கிரஸ்க்கு வேணும் இருக்குன்னா அதை கொடுத்து இவங்களுக்கு தேவையானதை வந்து அச்சீவ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். லாஸ்ட் டைம் வந்து டிஎம்கே அப்படிதான் பண்ணாங்க. எங்களுக்கு இந்த இதான் வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி டிமாண்ட் பண்ணி வாங்கி அதுல வந்து நிறைய ஸ்கேம்ஸ் நடந்தது. அந்த மாதிரி வந்து இவங்க வந்து அந்த மாதிரி இதுக்கு வந்து ஆடுறாங்க. மற்றபடி இவங்க ஒரு மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ, ஒரு நேஷனல் லெவல் மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ கொடுக்கறதுக்கோ, ஒரு நேஷனல் லெவல் வியூ கொடுக்கறதுக்கோ, ஒரு விஷன் செட் பண்றதுக்கோ ஒரு ஆளுங்க வந்து ரீஜனல் பார்ட்டி பிளேயர்ஸ் கிடையாது. அவங்களால பண்ண முடியாது. மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா காங்கிரஸ், வி கேன் ஒர்த் வைல் கன்சிடரிங் மேனிஃபெஸ்டோனா 3 மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ தான் நம்ம பார்க்க முடியும். ஆம் ஆத்மி, காங்கிரஸ் அண்ட் பிஜேபிஸ் மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ. இதில் ஆம் ஆத்மி வந்து நிறைய சப்சிடி, தே வாண்ட் டு கிவ் எவ்ரிதிங் ஃப்ரீ, சப்சிடைஸ்ட் திங் டு த பீப்புள். It's not a development oriented manifesto. Congress again, it goes for they are giving 100 rupees per day, the NREJ for everybody. Okay, so there is a lot of such food security bills, and they are also heavily subsidized. It speaks about mostly about the secularism and subsidies. And the BJP's manifesto, I don't know how far the manifestos can come into fruition.
பிஜேபி மேனிஃபெஸ்டோ வந்து கடைசியில வருமா வராதா அப்படிங்கறத
இல்ல there is a reason for that, because they wanted to delay that issuing that manifesto because they don't want that to get copied by other parties. Okay, so that is full of infrastructure. They are talking about building 100 Singapore like cities across India. They are talking about building ports. They are talking about building central power grids and connecting rivers wherever possible. Okay, they are talking about reforming the UGC. And so
they have their own agenda.
Their own constituency is there. They have to feed them.
Here is the challenge, right? Yeah. So, Balaji, to your point, Kashmir issue சொன்னீங்க, right? All the or central economic policies எல்லாம் சொன்னீங்க. அது மாதிரி ஒரு regional party in their manifesto they say I will change the economic policy like this, that அப்படின்னா, then the commoner, the local villagers, right? And they will say, what are you going to do to me? Correct? What are you going to do to me? Is that what they will be looking for, right? So pretty much the politicians can say that's what I am targeting. நான் வந்து என்னோட மக்களுக்கு என்ன செய்ய போறேன்றதா என்னோட எதுல சொல்ல முடியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு they are giving a preference to that, isn't it? Right? So அதனால அது ஒரு சேலஞ்ச் இருக்கு இல்லையா? So அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
அது கண்டிப்பா. அண்ட் அதுக்கு ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. அதை வச்சுதான் மக்கள் ஓட்டு போடுறாங்க.
Yeah, because லோக்கலா நீ வந்து என்ன 40 சொன்னாங்களே, 40ன்றாங்க, 14ன்றாங்க, 12. So அவங்க வந்து they focus on you get me what I need, you make me the winner and then I will do it அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு anticipatory இதுதான் இருக்கு.
ராஜன், தமிழ்நாட்டில் இன்னொன்று என்னன்னா, எவ்வளவோ வருடங்களுக்கு பிறகு முதல் தடவையா காங்கிரஸ் வந்து தனிச்சு விடப்பட்டிருக்கு.
ஆமாம்.
அண்ட் காங்கிரஸ் இந்த தடவை எலெக்ஷன், தமிழ்நாட்டில் அட்லீஸ்ட் எலெக்ஷனில் வந்து ஒரு பிளேயராகவே இல்லை.
அவங்க தே ஆர் இன் 4th பொசிஷன் ஆர் இன் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் த கான்ஸ்டியூன்சிஸ். ரெண்டாவது வந்து இப்போ தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து ஒரு தெர் இஸ் அண்டர் கிரவுண்ட் ஸ்வெல் ஆர் டார்க் ஹார்ஸ் லைக் திங் கோயிங் ஆன். மேஜர் பார்ட்டிஸை விட இந்த நியூ கோalition அண்டர் பிஜேபி, they are gaining momentum, and it is expected that they could win sizable votes in Tamil Nadu. And regarding the opinion polls, the most of the opinion polls they hover around, they project around 230 to 240 seats for the NDA, BJP leading NDA party, and around 100 seats for the Congress coalition, and rest for the other parties. Okay, and my personal prediction, I predicted I issued a guesstimate around December 11th, and I estimated around 252 seats for BJP coalition, and currently I am giving some more for them, and I expect around 300 plus for that party. And coming back to the strengths and weakness of both parties, the Congress has it has lot of weakness for this election, and BJP, the only major strength is Modi and Modi.
நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க பாலாஜி? உங்களோட ப்ரெடிக்ஷன் என்ன? What do you think?
என்னோட prediction, BJP I think will fall slightly short of majority.
Yeah, they may,
and I think they will need to get support either from Trinamool Congress or from ADMK to make the number.
The safest approach for them would be to going to Naveen Patnaik and get his 15 or 17 seats, than going and standing in the doorsteps of Mayawati or Trinamool.
So the other interesting thing is, so there'll be some interesting alliance will be formed after the election.
Post-poll interesting alliance may be formed if they fall short of this magic number 273.
Okay.
And if they reach around 250, some other parties will automatically come to them and glue to them, and there won't be any major issues. And even if they come around 230, it will be easy for them. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. And
I think சொல்லுங்க பாலாஜி.
ராஜன்,
எஸ்,
தமிழ்நாடு எலெக்ஷன்ல பிரச்சாரம் பண்ற நடிகர் நடிகைகள்ல யார் உங்களை ரொம்ப கவர்ந்திருக்காங்க?
நான் தமிழ்நாடு பிரச்சாரம் இப்போ பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தப்போ மேஜர் பார்ட்டிஸ்லாம் யாருமே இது அவ்வளோ ஆக்டிவாக கேம்பெயினுக்கு போகல. அதாவது பிஜேபியும் சரி, பிஜேபியில் வானதி சீனிவாசங்கிறவங்க நல்லா பேசுகிறாங்க. மற்றபடி லோக்கலில் அவங்க சைடில் Vijaykanth and his wife Premalada, surprisingly, they are attracting huge crowds, and they speak in simple language like Kamraj used to talk. Okay, they could relate to the audience and to the people, and there is no ornamental or decorative talks. ரொம்ப எளிமையா பேசுறாங்க. அது அந்த பிரேமலதாவுடைய ஸ்பீச் கொஞ்சம் சென்சிபிளாகவும் மெச்சூர்டாகவும் இருக்கு. மற்றபடி
பேச்சு கேட்டீங்களா?
இவங்க சீஃப் மினிஸ்டர் ஒரே மாதிரியான ஆல்மோஸ்ட் சேம் ஸ்பீச் ஷி டெலிவர்ஸ் எவ்ரிவேர். அது வழக்கமாக அவங்க பண்ணுறதான் கடைசியில் முடிக்கிறப்ப செய்வீர்களான்னு கேட்குறாங்க. ஆனால் மக்களுக்கு அதெல்லாம் கவலை இல்லை. அவங்க அவங்கள பார்க்குறாங்க, தே ஓட் ஃபார் ஹர், அண்ட் அவங்க வின் பண்ண முடியுமா, அவங்க நேஷனல் லெவலில் பிளே, அதெல்லாம் பற்றி யோசிக்கிறதே இல்லை. அதனால் ஷி கேன் ஸ்டில் மேனேஜ் அரௌண்ட் 30 சீட்ஸ்.
அதே மாதிரி இந்த பாட்டாளி மக்கள் கட்சியும் சரி, வைகோ அவரோடது, அவங்களோட கட்சி பிரச்சாரம்லாம் எப்படி இருக்கு? அவங்களோட ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ்
இவங்க எல்லாமே அவங்களுடைய தொகுதியில் அவங்க நிற்கிறாங்க இல்லையா? இப்போ வைகோ விருதுநகரில் நிற்கிறாருன்னா அங்கே மேஜராக அவர் இது பண்ணுறாரு, அங்கே எல்லாம் போகிறாரு, அதுலேயே பிஸி ஆயிடுறாங்க, ஆக்குப்பை ஆயிடுறாங்க. இந்த மாதிரி இப்போ நேஷனல் பார்ட்டி லீடர்ஸுமே அவங்க போட்டியிடுற தொகுதிகளுக்குள்ளே மாத்திரமே டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுறாங்களே ஒழிய, முந்தி மாதிரி ஒரு பார்ட்டி லீடர்னா தே கோ ஆல் ஓவர் தமிழ்நாடு
பண்றதுல
அந்த மாதிரி பண்றதுனா விஜயகாந்த் அண்ட் ஹிஸ் வைஃப் ஆர் டூயிங், ஜெயலலிதா இஸ் டூயிங்,
சரத்குமார், இப்ப நடிகர் கார்த்திக்
அவர் ஆனா காங்கிரஸ் ஆபீஸ்க்குள்ள போனோன்னு கோயில் மாதிரி இருக்கு, நான் இங்கே இருக்க போறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டாரு. அவர் வெளில வந்தாதான் பேசுவார். பிஜேபிக்கு மேஜர் வீக்னஸ் சொன்னா அவங்களுடைய நெகட்டிவ் கேம்பெயின் பை த மீடியா அண்டர் ஹிந்துத்வா இமேஜ், அது இட்ஸ் ஷோட் இன் புவர் லைட். அண்ட் த இவிஎம் இஸ் அனதர் ஹேங்கிங் ஸ்வர்ட். அது தெரியல எப்படி அது ஒர்க் அவுட் ஆக போகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. முக்கியமா இப்ப நாட்டுக்கு தேவையான இஷ்யூஸ் என்னன்னா
வெஸ்டர்ன் மீடியா பாத்தீங்கன்னா, வெஸ்டர்ன் மீடியா கார்டியன் ஆகட்டும், எக்கனாமிஸ்ட் ஆகட்டும், நியூயார்க் டைம்ஸ் ஆகட்டும், ஆல்மோஸ்ட் எல்லாருமே
they are totally against Modi.
எல்லாரும் they totally reject the whatever has been happening, whether it is இந்த என்ன ட்ரெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கோ இருக்கோ எல்லாத்தையும் இது அந்த குஜராத்ல நடந்த ராயட்ஸ் அப்படிங்கறத ஒரு பாயிண்ட்டை வச்சுட்டு
அடிச்சிடறாங்க
ஃபுல்லா.
அதை இங்க நம்பருக்கு ஆள் இருக்காங்க
இட்ஸ் ஓகே. இப்போ அது மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபைனல், இன்னைக்கு இந்த நிகழ்ச்சிக்கு ஒரு ஃபைனல் காலர் எடுத்து போனோம். வணக்கம் சார், நீங்க உங்க பேர் சொல்லுங்க.
வணக்கம், என் பேர் நாகராஜன்.
நாகராஜன், நீங்க ஏர்ல இருக்கீங்க, சுருக்கமா உங்களோட கருத்தை சொல்லுங்க. நிகழ்ச்சியோட நிறைவுக்கு வந்துட்டோம். தேங்க்யூ, சொல்லுங்க.
அதாவது இன்னைக்கு ப்ரோக்ராம் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண மாதிரி இந்த 2G ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம் ஸ்கேமுக்கு அப்புறம் ஸ்டேட் பார்ட்டிஸ் சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட்ல பங்கெடுக்கிறது ஊழல் பண்றதுக்காக மட்டும்தான் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு இம்ப்ரெஷன் ஜனங்க மத்தியில ஸ்ட்ராங்கா வந்துருச்சு.
ஆமா,
அதனால இந்த தடவை people they should vote for the national parties, whether it is BJP or Congress or left, is my humble opinion.
அதுதான் நம்மளோட விஷ். ஆனா ரியாலிட்டியில வேற மாதிரி.
நன்றி சார், நன்றி, தேங்க்யூ வெரி மச். சரி, ஐ திங்க் நிகழ்ச்சியோட நிறைவுக்கு வந்துட்டோம் நம்ம. ஐ திங்க் ஒரு ஃபைனல் கமெண்ட்ஸ் எதா இருக்கா? ஐ திங்க் யூ கிவ் யுவர் ப்ரெடிக்ஷன்ஸ், குட் அனாலிசிஸ்.
ஃபைனல் கமெண்ட்ஸ் இப்போ இந்தியா சேலஞ்சஸ் being faced by India, are the main challenges are the fiscal deficit, current account deficit, economic woes, GDP, low GDP, lack of infrastructural development. That's why FDI is not flowing into India. So the next government should look into this as their number one agenda. So by looking into the manifestos, I could see some hope in one of those manifestos. That's it.
Okay.
So, enna பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் there are few things. So, one, I welcome the rise of Aam Aadmi Party. I welcome the new wave of people who are coming into politics, who have a vision. And we should give them time. We've given other parties years and years to get their act right. So we should give them time. So that is one thing. The second thing, I think Modi is a polarizing factor. So there are people who would support him no matter what. There are people who oppose him no matter what. And given a choice, right, I am ready to overlook whatever complacency he might have had in the Gujarat riots for his track record against the track record of Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah. Then third, at least for the sake of, a good post-poll balance, I hope a nationalist party, BJP and its allies, get a full majority so we don't go into a situation where ADMK or Trinamool Congress will keep them hostage.
I hope that they will manage to get a decent majority so that they need not have to stand with them.
Okay.
And then the final thing is, whatever our drawbacks are, whatever inefficiencies in the system are, we should really cherish and celebrate the fact that we are the largest democracy.
That's right.
And we are in a position where every vote counts equally. There are inefficiencies everywhere. There are, money plays a major role even in elections here. But we should cherish the fact that we have elections and we are in a position where governments can be chosen and thrown out by the people.
Yeah, so they say for the people, by the people, of the people. People have to vote, go and vote, and I think my wish is the improved percentage of votes polled should increase from last time to this time. So that's my wish.
That should improve. And when we are talking about Tamil Nadu, there are some Tamil Nadu specific issues like the fisherman issue, the water woes of Tamil Nadu. So that whatever be the next government should look into that specifically and improve that situation.
Yeah. Okay, we wish all the
contestants
good luck.
Yeah,
So the final closing comment is, the election time is like the start of a baseball season. Every team is optimistic. We are all talking about goals. We are all talking about winning the division. Then once you get into the government forming and then all that, then reality hits. So people who are expecting major sparks or fireworks, I think should be tempered. There is only so much that any new government can do, whether it's
give
Modi or it's anyone else.
Chance.
So this is the time to be optimistic, though.
Okay.
The results will be out on May 16th. After May 16th, let us assemble one more time and give a post-poll program.
Thank you, Rajan and Balaji.
Thanks, listeners. Thanks for participation. Thanks, Srikanth, for the time.
Thank you very much for your time. And dear listeners, that was It's Different Shows 2014 Indian Parliamentary Elections Analysis, Lok Sabha elections coverage. The views or opinions expressed by the host DG or their guest present on KZSU 90.1 FM Stanford do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Leyland Stanford Junior University or its associates. We thank you for tuning into this KZSU 90.1 FM radio broadcast. Thanks, dear listeners, for joining us in the wonderful conversation here. And thanks, Balaji and Rajan, once again, and all the listeners with their comments. Please put your comments on itsdiff page, facebook.com, itsdiff, itsdiff. And we have our website, itsdiff.com. We are on air every Wednesday. If this is the first time you're tuning in, you can find us also on iHeartRadio and as well as TuneIn app. You can listen to it whichever part of the world you are, or kzsulive.stanford.edu. And this is our 10th year as It's Different show from 6 to 9 a.m. every Wednesday. We are here. We have done about 475 shows so far, and thanks for your wonderful support. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Please keep your comments coming. itsdiff@gmail.com or post it on our Facebook page, itsdiff. Thank you.